Hey, certain listeners, 90 Day Fiancé, Danielle and Mohamed. Let's go back in time and watch.
She showed up in my door, knocking. I have to talk to her now.
You have made this day all about you. I wanted it drama-free.
You will never be drama-free.
But you, on the other hand, are out there with the selfie stick and everything else.
It's so weird. Isn't it weird? It's such an odd way to see the world. I wanted today to be drama-free as I tried to invent evidence that it was fraud and dragging you into court. I was trying to make it drama-free, and you made it all about you, and you made it all about drama with your selfie stick. Like, the selfie stick was some kind of like provocation to her. He was doing it to protect himself from things that might happen. And it's just such a weird way to see the world, you know? Is it cognitive difficulties? Is it emotions, undifferentiation, maturity? It's just such a weird way to see the world. I mean, maybe I could be convinced that her sentiment it makes sense on some level, but I don't see it.
And then you're not even appreciative how this.
You don't even
Can I
listen.
please come in because it's
Okay,
cold?
come in. Yeah, come in. Before we finish this conversation, I have a request. If you're going to scream or raise your voice, I will ask you to leave.
I would not have let her in. I would have said, no, let's put on a coat, or let's go in a car and we'll sit, the heater will be on. Because once you let her in, it's hard to get people out, you know, at some point, because this is his place, right? It's his hotel room. Now, presumably he could go to the front desk and say, like, can I change hotel rooms? Because I have someone who's essentially squatting in mine. But if I were him, I wouldn't have let her in.
Mohamed, I'm the one that's been acting like an adult today. It's like you thought today was a big joke. It's not a joke.
Listen to me.
And then to top it off, you go and announce it on social media before I could even tell my family and my friends.
I've been over this ground already, but it's just such an interesting way to see the world. And there's been a mountain of that in this storyline. The way that she sees the world and the way that she sees her entitlement, you know, it's, if I was to make a conceptualization, it's that of a young person. Young people, like, if you have a bunch of siblings, a bunch of kids, and little Jenny is sick. And so little Jenny gets to stay home from school and gets to play on her iPad all day. And you want to do that at the age of 7. You'd rather stay home and stay on your iPad all day. And you have a tantrum because you think like it's unfair that your sister gets to stay home, but she's sick, but you just can't really, you know, it doesn't really make sense to you. You're just operating from your own feelings. I want to stay home and play on my iPad all day, and she gets to, and that's the end of the logical investigation. That's kind of what it looks like.
So you're telling me that I'm not allowed to use my social media because your family is going to find out? Is that what you're telling me?
You should have the respect enough to let me tell my family, because they were expecting an annulment. If you even cared about me 1 ounce, you would have thought about it. Oh, maybe I should wait until she tells her kids.
I mean, as she says it that way, I could see it barely. I still don't think he should be prevented from saying whatever he wants to say. Plus, I'm guessing your kids thought it would be a divorce. I don't know what they knew, and even if he was in the wrong, like, he has the right to post whatever he wants to. So, especially that. All he said was, I am divorced. He didn't say anything about you. He didn't talk bad about you. Just like, I'm divorced.
And her family.
Well, everybody has a different way to talk to people.
You know that is freaking bull.
Okay, here we're done. Please leave. Don't curse at me, please leave. You know this is a deadline. You crossed it. Please leave.
No, I'm tired of you making.
See, should not have let her in. I almost knew this was going to happen. Yeah, should have, because then if you're still outside, you get to walk away. And actually, this is as a victim of abuse, this is a technique. You don't want to give power to abusers, because when they have it, they will use it, especially under these circumstances.
This about you today.
Please leave. I'm warning you that the police are going to be called if you don't leave.
I deserve a lot more respect than what you gave me the last 2.5
What
years.
respect?
Okay, yeah, but again, this goes back to what I was saying before of, you might even be right that he might have conned you. I don't know, maybe. And that's extremely disrespectful and hurtful. And you deserved better, if that's true, that he did con you. But what did you expect this interaction, that he'd be like, oh, Danielle, you know what? You're right. I've finally come to your side, and I'm so sorry. Like, what did you think he was going to say? So why are you trying to get him to do that?
What you talking about? You are the one who disrespected me by cursing off.
in the United States if it was not for me.
Okay, please leave my place.
And don't think I'm done with immigration. I am sending all my evidence to immigration.
More threat. So this is what abusers do. This is what stalkers do, is they'll use whatever lever they can to get power over you, because it's their way, I think, I don't know about her, but often as a way of trying to retain an attachment that they believe they need. It's a sick way of trying to get closeness with someone, and very abusive. And so and we can see it on his face, he's just like, crap, really? Like, you're gonna go to immigration? Like, I don't need that stuff. I just, and he's in his mind, I'm sure he has a gear turning of like, oh, so does that mean I'm still under her thumb? I still have to please her? I still have to be nice to her even though she treats me like crap? Like, is that where I'm at still? And I'm guessing he has another counter argument of just like, no, we're divorced, it's done. Immigration doesn't care about her binder. So let's see what he says.
Because you used me for the green card.
Thank you for leaving.
You are a jackass. Have a good life. You were the worst mistake in my life.
Okay, yeah, it could be true. It could be the worst mistake of your life. Could be. She opened up her heart. She was in love with him in a way that was almost disturbing at times during the tell-all, remember? And he broke her heart. Yeah, and you're hurt and you're angry. Okay. It's time to heal, time to grieve, time to get therapy. Hey, deserving listeners, as y'all know, I am constantly recommending that people go to therapy. We all need therapy from time to time. Well, one of the options available that is definitely worth checking out is BetterHelp. If you're looking for a therapist, I would give it a try by going to betterhelp.com/Kirk. Make sure you use the promo code Kirk because you get 10% off your first month, and it really helps us out. As you watch these videos, I know many of you have been motivated to find your own therapist, which is great because you deserve it. And I know also that it can be hard to find a good fit, find the right one for you. Well, one of the options available in terms of your shopping is to go to betterhelp.com/Kirk. I've been told you can start communicating with your therapist in under 24 hours. You can message your counselor at any time, plus you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. I've also been told that it's often less expensive than in-person therapy, and you should know that this service is available to clients worldwide. So go to betterhelp.com/Kirk to get 10% off your first month today.
Okay, don't touch me, please.
Nothing but an arrogant, selfish ass. Worst mistake in my life.
There is people here, please.
So just a side note, this is the kind of energy that a lot of people online are in when they're accusing people of being a malignant narcissist. That's my impression. Or he gaslit me. You know, I'll hear those kinds of accusations because when you're this angry and you're this upset and you feel this wronged, you're looking for some kind of justification. You're looking for some kind of way to, I don't know, conceptualize it or to attack or something. It feels like the person was a psychopath. So there's all these accusations because people go online and they start looking for answers. And I've been noticing that even on semi-respectable psychology websites, every other article is about narcissism. And when I read the articles, they're not talking about narcissism. They're talking about ex-boyfriends that bothered you. It seems to me. And I get it, you're in pain. You know, to the heterosexual woman who is in pain, it's all the discussion of malignant narcissists and gaslighters. Like, there's comfort, I guess, in that discourse online. To the men, it's the incel and the MGTOW and the pickup artist community. Both are capitalizing on people's pain and brainwashing people to believe certain things. The incel is much more pathological and problematic in society because they actually cause violence and murder. To the malignant narcissist discourse, it's just, I think, misguided conceptualization. Are some people's former partners malignant narcissists? Yeah. Are some of them, have some people been gaslit? Yeah, absolutely. Listen to all my episodes on that. But I'm just going to point that out because you could imagine Danielle if someone came to her and gave her an article about how, you know, the 10 signs of a malignant narcissist or the 10 signs that you were gaslit. She'd be like, yes, 100%, eat every single one of them. And that's what I'm reacting against. You know, I because those terms are important terms in my field and they shouldn't be thrown around and used by lay people, frankly. It's absolutely fine that Danielle is in pain. Of course she's in pain, and it's real, and she is justified to feel pain. Even if he wasn't a con artist, she was in love, they had conflict, and he just bounced like very quickly, and that hurt. And it might be the biggest love she's ever had, maybe the only love, I don't know. And she is absolutely justified in feeling that pain, feeling the anger. What do we do with that pain and anger is really the key. She's absolutely justified in wanting to grieve and to talk about it and to be heard and to be held and to be understood and to cry on people's shoulders. It's going to be a process for her. It's going to take a long time. But, you know, to conceptualize, to grab at concepts that, frankly, most clinicians don't even understand as some sort of comfort blanket is, it doesn't sit well with me. So I'll just mention that.
Please respect them.
Yeah, you're the one that should be talking about respect. You don't know how to treat the person that gave you the opportunity to be here in the United States.
I haven't been commenting on that in a while, but she's said this a few times in this interaction. And we've seen it from other cast members on the show, of Americans with this, you know, I gave you this gift of, or I'm your ticket to the United States, and so you owe me. And it's like, ooh, really? Wow. Like, I'm entitled to treat you like crap and control you and to make you be in a relationship with me because I gave you this wonderful gift.
You treat that person like trash.
Have some respect.
You don't even realize how much I loved you and cared for you.
You're making yourself look bad right now. Just go.
I'm done with you.
Thank you.
Have a nice life. Back in Tunisia.
Yeah, I mean, breakups are messy. I think a lot of us have been in her shoes to some extent. We don't see it that way, but if we were filmed, it might have looked like this. So there's some absolute normalcy to what's happening for her and justification for the feelings and normalcy, the compulsion to want to like let him have it and then to let him have it verbally. Okay, you know, she's got a lot of grieving ahead of her.
Danielle tried really hard to destroy my life, but now I feel like I need to make up for the lost time. I need to find a better job, and I want to be with someone, but I want to have a healthy relationship.
I feel good that I finally have the courage and the voice to tell him what I thought.
Okay, so good. If that gave you some sense of closure, or I let him have it and I said my piece and now I can move forward with the grieving process, then I suppose, you know, that was a good thing.
Oh my God. I wanted him to hear everything I had to say before I left, and I wanted to leave on my terms, not his terms.
I'll be the last one standing. You'll never take me down.
Okay, so yeah, makes sense. I don't think he sees it that way. I don't think he's crying into a pillow going like, oh, she showed me. I don't think it's that way at all. But if it felt good to her to let him have it and to quote unquote leave on her terms, then, and good on him for allowing that. He could have not answered the door. He could have not talked to her. He, I think, might have even kind of known that maybe this will help her on some level, or at least, I don't know. If he did it altruistically, even kind of, then I would commend him. But at the very least, he allowed something to happen.
Around me, still I hold my ground.
I am going to do everything that I can. I'm taking stuff to immigration. I know he used me, and I won't stop till he gets sent back to Tunisia.
Yikes. I've talked about this debate for a while now. Is it immoral what she's doing to be hell-bent on revenge? Because that's clearly what she's talking about. Or is it justice that she is righting a wrong? A fraud happened and she is taking action against this fraud. Now you'd have to wonder, like, how do you benefit from attacking that issue other than revenge? But I don't know. If I were her friend, I'd be like, let's grieve. let's not think about that for a while.
Keep on fighting till the last one stands.
All right, well, that does it for that episode. Everyone out there, please take care of yourself because you deserve it. You really, really do.